What do you mean, going to ascertain what state of mind he was because he spit in her face? What are you, stupid? Over 97% of the tens of thousands of people that have taken that test fail it by saying they wouldn't kill the cocksucker. They wouldn't hit him. They wouldn't push him. What has happened? Can't keep his dick in his pants. There could have been several. They might, pulled straws. Who's going to whack the guy? All of them have plenty of power. The warden shuts the lights off, just like in the movie. The lights are off in that part of the prison. But that was not an accident.
And they do have the videos.
Pardon?
They do have the videos.
Yeah, well, when are they going to be released? Never. Yeah, it's like Nixon's tapes. Now, if I had been President Nixon, I would have burned those cocksuckers. Why he kept them? Ego keeps them. Ego is the biggest reason for the kids. All of a sudden, you've got no self-esteem. You come here. Then all of a sudden, you grow a pair. And all of a sudden, you make a wrong decision because you don't have a history of making right decisions. And your ego steps in and you cut your dick off. Even though you don't use a little fucking thing, you cut it off. And but all that shit's true. It's quite remarkable that you would think it's not true. It just is. Now, the James Bond shit and all that's all bullshit. Mission Impossible, that's all bullshit. But there are, enough of it's true. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And having, had a father that was part of that element. My dad, till the day he died, said that he was in charge of the Sirhan case, the assassination of Robert Kennedy. So the day he died, well, no, he wasn't talking about it. Within a year of the day he died, he was still saying it was one gun, a Sirhan, which, that's more realistic than one shooter for John Kennedy. Because the 7 people that were around when Robert Kennedy got shot were all there and they jumped on the guy with a gun. Although there's a theory that there's two kind of bullets because Senator Kennedy got shot more than once. There's a theory that there's a second gun and that's close. There's only 6 people that could have been. Those are the 6 people that were ushering Senator Kennedy out of the Biltmore Hotel in Los Angeles. That's it. It wasn't, they weren't outside, the telescope, none of that shit. So it's one of those 6 people. If it's anybody, that'll come out 50 years from now. Who's by 5:30? 6:30. Tonight we have dinner in the castle, and the homework again later. I've already given you about being afraid and what you would have done. Tonight we're going to see some other couple of short films and then a long film about another icon of changed the world, arguably. And you don't have to be as asshole-ish as these guys, but you got to move towards their end of the continuum. You got to. Otherwise, you're going to fail. Because, like the example I gave you, they stole the deal and they ran to Israel. What are you going to do? Knowing it's $500,000. What are you going to do? Yeah, well, it talks cheap. And we've had that too. And but the people that have the most to lose, in other words, people that steal big deals from you, have more to lose, so they can pay for more kneecap breaking than you can. And it's easy to talk about breaking kneecap, and I'm not recommending it to the YouTube meatheads or anybody. But unless you've been part of that world, and when I came up against the Genovese family in New York many years ago, where they were doing more than breaking kneecaps, talk's cheap. And when they threaten your kids, they try to kidnap your kids like they did me. We got mercenaries, gun battles. It was a thing of beauty. And the cops just, what happened? I don't know. So it's easy to flap your mouth about.
What would you recommend?
Well, I recommend put a bullet in their head. And I say that on camera with no regrets.
Metaphorically. For real. Or metaphorically.
No, not metaphorically. I mean for real. You fuck with me, I'm the wrong guy to fuck with. Okay, you can fuck with anybody else, but I'm the wrong guy because I came up a certain way, and I'm not saying that I wouldn't have done what the Clintons do to protect Mrs. Clinton. I'm not saying that. I'm not justifying what they did, but I'm not here to tell you with my hand on my heart I wouldn't do the same thing. You do what you fucking have to. It's the governments are, whether we abandon the Kurdish fighters or not is not really a subject of debate. We abandoned them. Loyal allies for 25 years. We abandoned them like wiping shit off our ass. That's the American way. And if you think, not just the American way, it's the Japanese way, the German, everybody. You can only push shit up a hill so far. Okay, and some people liken us supporting the Kurds for an endless battle. That battle was raging 3,000 years ago. That battle is going to be raging 3,000 years from now. That battle in the Middle East is never going to get solved.
Too much money.
Well, not just too much money. I mean, there's too much history. Too much history. Those guys, it's quite remarkable. And having been involved in the Middle East and having been partners with both the Jews and the other side, I mean, it's venom. I mean, it's fucking like it happened this morning. Like they raped their mother this morning. I mean, there's vengeance is unbelievable the way that they talk about each other. But they were both not. I mean, the Middle Eastern guy, Saudi and Kuwait and Yemen were all nice to me. I got nothing bad to say. The Israelis treated me like a prince. I got nothing bad to say. And they knew I was doing business with both sides. But you get in their crosshairs, you're fucked. You are just fucked. There's no coming back. But if there's going to be a million billionaires made in Neom, 1 million billionaires. If you're Middle Eastern, speak Arabic. If you don't speak Arabic, learn Arabic and move to Saudi. The day from the seminar, just take a flight to the kingdom and get your nose in there, because the billionaires aren't going to be made via Zoom call and Skype. I used to say fax machines, but they don't. Does anybody still use fax machines? No. Okay. Yeah, you do?
The government uses them.
The government?
Yeah.
No shit, I don't know. Huh?
The IRS still uses them.
Yeah.
You mean when they're confiscating your wages, they do it by fax? Yeah. But I mean, these guys, and part of the reason, I've gone from a hard-nosed background from my father and all his contemporaries to being partners with the Onassis group. The Greeks play hardball. Fucking the Greeks, Onassis people, I was blessed to be there, play hardball. I mean, super hardball. And then I'm partners with the Jews and the this and the so I've been blessed to be around some powerful people that all play hardball. Whereas you've been, for the most part, not necessarily blessed, been damned by being with pussies. My super success test. We changed from success test to super success test because we had a 94% or 96%.
97.
Okay, failed. Because we were asking too hard of questions, So the super success test, one of the questions is, if somebody spit in your mother's face, or your girlfriend, I forget which, mother or girlfriend. Mother?
Yes.
Okay, now, 97, right? 97 plus % answer the question as follows. It would depend on I would try to ascertain the state of mind of the person that spit in my interface. Now, what the fuck's that got to do with anything? I would try to, that is because you're a cunt. I said that to Pennsylvania, and by God, and I was down in the audience, there was a black woman sitting off to the right, jumped up and says, I jump up and scratch your fucking eyes out. Now that's the fucking answer you ought to give. Find a pipe, a brick, and beat him to death and serve 3 years. Get sentenced to 8 and be proud that you served 3 years for killing the cocksucker. That's the fucking answer. That's the only fucking answer. What do you mean? Gonna ascertain what state of mind he was because he spit in her face? What are you, stupid? Over 97% of the tens of thousands of people that have taken that test fail it by saying they wouldn't kill the cocksucker. They wouldn't hit him. They wouldn't push him. What has happened? And I don't put your wife because fuck the bitch. Burn her. I don't give a fuck. But your own mother. Is a mother or girlfriend?
It's mother, I think.
Yeah. And almost all of you meatheads have fondness for your mom. Even though some were crack whores, drunken alcoholics, you name it. We got it in this room. I may have fucked a couple of your mothers. You may be my kid. I hope not the fat pigs in here. But I humped a lot of mothers in my time. Well, how can they answer the question that way? Where are we as a human race? And just like the kid asked me, Mr. Pena, what do you do with a cricket bat? And yes, I have used it, which is truth. Not in this country, not where there is a country that has a rule of law. That's all I'll say about it. But I have used it with great effectiveness. Any other questions? Let's see, there was another slide, I think. Where is it? What time is it?
5:12.
Okay, we good. Okay, now, this is not the ideal setup, but I got asked last night, or was it last night? What do the superstars do? And I already told you that they're on the treadmill. What you can't see here is the treadmill that is here. But they set up a war room. Your wives and significant others will not like this idea because it basically trashes a room in your house. But they set it up with all. Now these are reprints of not of all the slides, because you get all 2,000 slides. They are the slides that they're having the hardest time resonating with. So in this particular case, the guy pushed you the fear of rejection. Well, fuck, that's a no-brainer. Let's see. This one, which is one of my favorites, is the digging mine diamonds, and he's close to the diamonds, and then he gives up. I forget, Og Mendigo or somebody said that. So they're putting the slides up, and they're reprinting the slides that they're having the most trouble with. Yes, sir.
If you say this is not the absolute ideal setting, what would it be?
Oh no, well, the absolute ideal setting is I'd have bigger TVs, and so, because I like visual shit. For the few of you that have been in my office, I watch news, BBC, Al Jazeera, which is the Arab news station, CNN, Fox, and one other, 24/7. That's the TV I watch. And I normally have more than one screen. I got 2 or 3 screens going at the same time. And because, well, whether I'm gifted or not, I can read. You know how the teletype goes across the bottom of the TV when you're watching the news? I can read that without really looking at it. I assimilate that information. And so I watching news Saturday, Sunday, yesterday, news all day. The day before, except for when you got here, news all day. So one of the reasons I'm pretty well-rounded about worldwide news and financial news is because I watch it 24/7. When I get up at 3 o'clock in the morning and I can't sleep, I'm watching it. And as you should do with QLA, to be perfect, you should inundate yourself every waking moment that you're not making cold calls, you're not trying to build your dream team, etc. You should have QLA plugged in. And we're going to start hearing tomorrow from kids that I'm plugged in to them all the time. And guess what? You know, one of them, the one I told you about, turned 20 grand into 40 million in 7 months. Well, again, I'm not trying to make that sound like it's a big deal, but it is a big deal to most people, you know. 7 months, 40 million. But they immerse themselves. It's not dissimilar to BUD training, SEAL team training. They immerse themselves in the training. Like, you know, you've heard me say I have 3 regrets in life. One, I'm a highly trained combat Army officer who never saw combat. 2, the night before my mother died on this estate, I yelled at my mom, "Mom, goddammit, quit fucking with everybody. You're not going to die. You're not sick." Next morning, she's dead. I like that one back, but that's the way it is. And the third is I didn't set my goals high enough. Not that I missed my daughter's sweet 16 birthday party. None of that horse shit. That's all Alice in Wonderland shit for weak cunts. I can't make it any plainer. That's Fantasyland shit. How many of you have been to Disney World? And that's theme park bullshit. That's what it is. Because that's not the real world. Okay, any questions? We'll cover that tomorrow. That's another deal.